Hey guys, insight number 2. So we're in Matthew 25. This is verses 1 to 13. I've just entitled this Bring the Light, because that's my theme for the year, was to bring the light. And not be the light, bring the light. I was like, okay. So maybe I'm pretty good at being the light most of the time. I would hope so. I would hope that I am the light in the room, as well as other people. I'm not going to be the brightest light all the time. Excuse me. But I want to be able to bring the light. I want to bring the light to others. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So that was my theme for this year. So I called this one Bring the Light, because kind of what I base it on. Scriptures for the year. How to fill the lamp. How to help others do the same thing. So there you go. Oh, excuse me. I got water down the wrong way yesterday, and I think it just irritated my throat. Anyway, 1 to 13. So this is the parable of the 10 virgins and the lamp. So this is like bridegroom cometh, and you can read through this. You should be fairly familiar with this. So I'm not going to go through the actual parable. If you're wondering who the bridegroom is, that's Christ. That's talking about preparing for the second coming, or preparing for his coming. Now at that time they would have oil in their lamps and wait, and the cry calls out the bridegroom's coming, and it would be because it would be at night, and they would need to light the doorway so that everyone could see his arrival. And that's what we need to do. He's talking about us. We're the 10 virgins. And some of us, while sleeping, aren't prepared. Some are. In verse 12, though, it says, he answered, saying, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Please look at the footnote for that, because it should really say, Verily I say unto you, ye know me not, because that's what he's talking about there. He knows all of us very well. It's not about, oh, I don't know you. Although that would be really hurtful if he said that to us. But it's more, we don't know him. Yeah, because he does know us. And like he says here in 13, watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. And he'd already said in Matthew 24 that even the angels in heaven don't know, like, until that moment. I think probably even he might have an idea, but it's not a timeline like we would think. And this is my just opinion here. Not a timeline that we would think. It's more that after certain events, he's going to go, okay, now's the time. So while he's got an idea of a timeline as far as year and date and blah, 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 I don't think that's a factor for him. I think it's more when events have happened, when certain things have come to pass, as we will say often in church. That's when. So anyway. But this is the first of the 3 parables in this chapter. The 10 virgins is well known and often quoted as a parable of preparation. The oil here is oil of conversion. So let's look at what Elder Bednar has said about this. Now this is in the Come Find Me manual, and I have cut it out and put it in here like I do. So he said, consider the oil in the lamps to be the oil of conversion. Were the 5 wise virgins selfish and unwilling to share? Or were they indicating correctly that the oil of conversion cannot be borrowed? Can the spiritual strength that results from consistent obedience to the commandments be given to another person? No. Can the knowledge obtained through diligent study and pondering of the scriptures be conveyed to one who is in need? No. Not adequately, anyway. Can the peace the gospel brings to a faithful Latter-day Saint be transferred to an individual experiencing adversity or great challenge? It can't. The clear answer to each of these questions is no. As the wise virgins emphasized properly, each of us must buy for ourselves. These inspired women were not describing a business transaction, rather they were emphasizing our individual responsibility to keep our lamp of testimony burning and to obtain an ample supply of the oil of conversion. This precious oil is acquired 1 drop at a time, line upon line and precept upon precept, patiently and persistently. And that's from Converted to the Lord, which was in the October 2012 conference. But I love that from Elder Bednar. He describes it in such a way, because often when you teach this, like especially to youth and kids, they're like, we just share, which is so lovely of them that they want to do that. And yes, we absolutely go share the good news of the gospel. And that is one that we're going to bring up in the next insight. But yeah, we absolutely do that. But there's things that we literally cannot transfer. We cannot transfer our experiences to someone else. They're going to experience things differently. We cannot, as he said there, we can't take all of our daily scripture study and share it with someone else in a way that's going to be as meaningful for them. It just doesn't work that way. These are things that we need to do for ourselves. So whatever you can do today to add oil into that lamp, aces, go do it. So yeah, the oil is the oil of conversion. We cannot borrow oil of honesty, oil of scripture study, oil of prayer. You don't ring up your neighbour and say, oh, I've run out of prayer oil. Can I get a cup of prayer oil? No, that doesn't work, does it? You need to have your own prayer. They need to have their prayer. That's just what it is. You can borrow some sugar and some milk. Don't really have any prayer oil hanging around. That's something that isn't an actual tangible thing. It's a spiritually fed thing. So these things are grown within us. The oil is what gives light of relationship with Christ, easily recognized as His. It identifies us as His. He can clearly see, oh, you do know me. And we are like, yes, we do. Elder Holland said, so this is from a BYU graduation talk. I'm not sure which year. Sorry guys, I couldn't find that. But yeah, it is not from a conference talk, so you're not going to find it there. It is from a BYU graduation speech. It was a deep dive into the internet to find something that I thought apropos suited this, and this does. So there we go. It says, go out there and light a candle. Be a ray of light. Be your best self and let your character shine. Cherish the gospel of Christ and live it. And that was what I based this year on Bring the Light, was go out there and light a candle. Like, as dreary as this world is, as hard as we are after suffering from the last 3 years or whatever we've got going on, I can at least hold a light of a candle and bring that. If nothing brighter that day, I can at least do that and not tear down. I can build up. I can be a ray of light in a world that is darkening. I can be my best self, and maybe not 100% of the time, but my effort is to be 100% of the time my best self. And I can let my character shine, and my character is my values of Christ and Christian living. I can let that shine, and again, it's not perfect, far from it, but I can still let that shine, and it's better than dragging others down and dragging me down. I cherish the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I live it. Again, not perfectly, and again, far from it. However, the effort is there, and it certainly makes it lighter for me, lighter for my household, lighter for those that I interact with. It is a light. I am bringing the light. So, think of those things. I immerse myself in those oils that Elder Bednar talked about. Like knowledge oil and honesty oil and peace oil and all those things, those characteristics of Christ that we want, we need to bring them in through daily conversion, drop by drop. So I definitely do that to try and make my light better, not just for me, but for others, because I want to help. It's pretty hard. I know how hard, and I don't want anyone to have to suffer like I have to suffer sometimes when people are nasty to me, which happens a lot. Don't know why, maybe it's got pick on me here somewhere there that I can't see, or offload everything on me, or tell me a story that I really didn't need to hear, that just seems to be. But I think a lot of us feel that way, so it is hard, and I just wanted to make it better for others because I know how much it sucks. Yeah, so bring the light. Be prepared. This is the one we do need to be prepared for, but it's our own preparation that makes that light brighter. All right. Hang around, we're going to go talk about how we can increase the kingdom so that others can know Christ, which is kind of the whole point of being the light in the first place, other than helping ourselves, because it does. I'll see you guys.